from the council. Hi Jim, how are you? Good morning to you. We're going out to Monaghan Row. We're going out as well to all over the world. The interview, the council inquired about the interview we did with Jim McCurry. Yes, it did go out, but I'm going to repeat it tomorrow, Jim. We'll put it out tomorrow morning and I'll ring you later and let you know when that's going to happen. Billy Campbell's with me now from Abbey Management, Event Management, and that's lovely to have you, Billy.
Morning, Ron.
I've been describing it as the greatest weekend we've had in Newry in a very, very, very long time. And it was the Festival of Water.
Absolutely. It was great to be involved with it. Being from Newry myself, it was great to see the Albert Basin, that whole area, being utilised, being used to part of its potential. Good to see. I was mainly involved with the triathlon and the setup for the stage for the concert which took place after the triathlon. Obviously we had the triathlon, we had the kids duathlon, which was immensely popular with the 7 to 13-year-olds, and the triathlon itself was beyond everybody's expectations.
I had this moment standing at Dublin Bridge, looking down the canal as far as the Drumlane turn.
Yeah.
As far as my eye could see, the white splashes of swimmers coming up in their 2s and 3s across and their 1s and 2s, semi-file back and 2s and 3s, boom, 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 the whole way down. And I felt, this is mega.
It's great to see it. We had over 200 swimmers in the water, ranging from the extreme athletes, Barry McConvry, or Newry's own Barry McConvry, right down to the first timers, male and female, old and young. There's no age barrier, there's no limits on it. It's just fantastic spectacle. Like yourself, I was on Dublin Bridge, and I thought that was an amazing view. Right down, you could see the whole loch and the people in the water. It's just great to see the basin and the canal being used as a recreational area.
It also gives the lie to the notion that the canal is filthy, it's dirty. It's not. The water quality, you people necessarily monitored it.
Yes.
In order to allow this thing to go. And the results that you got and the results other people get show very, very good water quality.
Along with ourselves and with Newry and Moore District Council, they've been very supportive. We've been monitoring the water for quite some time, basically all of this year. I understand the water is monitored by the council the whole year round anyway. Never any negative feedback. Everything was positive. Water quality's good. Water quality's fit for people to get in and swim. We've been swimming in it now for a couple of months, and the feedback from everybody has been very pleasantly surprised.
Oh yeah. I remember about a month and a half ago, Graham Finnegan and I, outside Graham's shop in the canal, we saw what we thought was a carpet of a gunge of pollution.
Yeah.
And we gathered a small container of it and brought it straight up to the council. That was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. By 5 o'clock that day, I had a phone call back from council telling me that it was a natural degradation of the water as a consequence of the weather. It was algae bloom, and that it was okay and it would disappear when the weather turned. But wasn't that a remarkable efficient turnaround? You bring the thing up at lunchtime and by 5 o'clock the council has the answer. Well done, council.
The council is, from our point of view, with Eddie Curtis and Paddy Duffy, have been very supportive. Anything that we have asked for, anything that we have, any queries we had, like yourself, the water quality was an issue. We needed that assurance. We didn't want to take people to Newry and them have a bad experience. And the council have been behind that 100%, and our experience has been like your own. They've been positive, they've been productive, and yes, fortunate and unfortunate with the hot weather we had this year. Outside that part of the canal, as you well know, is much shallower than the basin. So the shallow water, the algae blooms quicker, and it seems unpleasant, and it is unpleasant if you get a mouthful.
But it clears.
Yes, with time. And
so the great thing about, you see, it struck me, the triathlon struck me as being eminently doable if I can't do it because my ankles are gone from years of abuse and doing jumping where I shouldn't have been jumping and the like of it. But if your joints are okay, the swimming, you can train for the swimming. You can train for the run. What's the run? 5 kilometres?
The run was on this one is a 5 kilometre run, ours, and it's a nice flat run. The cycle again, relatively flat to Warren Point and back, which is 20 kilometres.
Yeah.
The swim is the critical point. You have to be able to swim.
Yeah.
But I say there's ample opportunities between our own practice swims that we had in the canal. There's Campbell Lake. There's Newry swimming pool. There's plenty very good people, very willing people, very helpful people within the triathlon scene that will help and encourage first timers, people who have never done it, people who are nervous.
There's no real excuse nowadays for folk in our area not being able to swim, because in my day you learned to swim, as I did, in the river when we were off camping in the Scouts in Castle Bellingham, or you learned to swim in the canal, or you learned to swim out of the county river.
Yes.
Those were the days. But I think although the water quality in the canal is great, what people need to be careful of is if they're going to swim in the canal, doubtless if the weather improves again for the rest of the summer, people will be led by the example of the triathlon. They will want to go into the water. So I think it's of huge importance. They don't jump into the water, because you can jump in on top of underwater obstacles. Mm-hmm. They ease themselves into the water in the proper way, and that they only go in if they are competent swimmers and if there are life-saving devices close by.
We would strongly encourage only to swim with on an organised swim with people there. We provide on our practice swim nights, and indeed we have a swim this Thursday night coming. We have water safety cover. We have people recognised open water rescue people on our swims. We have canoes organised, and we also have quite a bunch of competent swimmers the whole way through who will swim with people who are nervous, people who are inexperienced. We'll do buddy swims with anybody who feels nervous of getting in. But yeah, the water, it can be great, and it is great, and it's been used, but it also, as we all know, living around water, it can be a very dangerous place. Yeah. So we wouldn't encourage anybody to get in on their own.
No, not a good idea. Abby's doing very well, Abbey Event Management. What does the rest of the year hold for you?
Well, the rest of the year holds, we have events towards Halloween, towards Christmas, and basically in between those, believe it or not, we are planning for next year. You know, we have concerts. We're trying to plan for next year to bring more groups back to Newry, to work with local authorities, not only in Newry but in other areas, other borough councils, private companies, private entertainment gigs, to offer the full range of site setup right through to management of the groups, booking the acts, the whole lot.
Okay, we wish you well. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much,
You
Rob.
go well. It's lovely seeing you.
Thank you.
Right, some music, dear boy. Thank you.
Seems like only yesterday I left my mind behind, down in the Gypsy Cafe with a friend of mine, who sat with baby heavy on her knee, yet spoke of life most free from slavery, with eyes that showed no trace of misery. The phrase in connection first with she occurred, that love is just a four-letter word. Outside a rattling storefront window, cats meow till the break of day. Me, I kept my mouth shut. To you I had no words to say. My experience was limited and underfed. You were talking while I hid, to the one who was the father of your kid. You probably didn't think I did, but I heard you say that love is